Hey guys, so today is my 14 weeks on testosterone. I got my shot today. It turns out that I had been taking half the dose I was supposed to be taking. I was taking 100 mgs instead of 200 every 2 weeks, so I got my full dose today. We'll see, sorry, my luggage is, we'll see if any changes are accelerated or anything. I get my levels checked on Wednesday, so that'll be fun. I'll probably make my video like right after that because I'm driving to Alabama on Thursday. But yeah, so changes. Arm hair is coming in thicker. Facial hair is coming more this way. Leg hair is still like really thick. It's getting thicker and like more up on my thighs too. Like it's dark. God, what else is there? Hairline is like still kind of changing. It's kind of going back further right here, but it's not too noticeable. I also have noticed curly hair coming in. I don't know if that's normal. Both my parents have curly hair. I have really straight hair, so it may just be one of those genetic things where it's finally starting to kick in. But yeah, so that's one of the things I've noticed. It's been entertaining. Yeah, so I was in Seattle last weekend for my oldest nephew's bar mitzvah, which I'm really proud of him. It was great. Like, that kid needs to go to rabbinical school or something. The way, like, he interpreted the Torah text to, like, the lesson for that Shabbat to, like, his speech thing. Like, it was incredible. But yeah, so as soon as I walked through my sister's door, she's like, "You need to come out to your nephews." And I was like, "Thanks, I wish you had done this for me, but alright." So I came out to my nephews. Oldest nephew was completely cool with it. Like, he was like, "Alright," and like never messed up pronouns or anything. My youngest nephew was not cool with it at all. He was like, "You're kidding, right?" And like I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, you're still a girl, so I'm gonna call you Kiki." That's what my nephews call me. Or called me. But you're still a girl and all this. So I was like, alright, whatever. But yeah, so that was a little awkward. I think at one point someone pulled him aside and said, "You need to accept Jack for who he is," and all this. And so like one evening someone messed up their pronoun. I think it may have been one of my parents. And he looks at them and he yells, "She's a boy!" And like, I was like, it's close enough. But yeah, I was pretty much the kid wrangler for the whole thing. The kids had no idea that I'm trans. They all thought I was like cisgender male, which was really awesome. And they were confused by like why my nephew was calling me Kiki, and I was like, well, so I told the story of how my oldest nephew, when he was little, couldn't say my name, so he called me Kiki instead of Jack, and they were like, "Oh, okay." And because little kids will believe anything you tell them. So yeah, that was interesting. And then there was one evening at the synagogue where I had to use the restroom, so I went to the men's restrooms, especially after the Michigan trip. I would never use the women's bathroom again, because that was weird. So I used the men's restroom, no issues. Came out, my youngest nephew saw me, and he's like, "Which bathroom did you use? Because you can't use the boys' bathroom because you're a girl," and blah, blah, blah. And I set him aside, because he was, like, talking really loudly. And I would set him aside. I was like, you can't say that, especially, you know, in a place of worship, because a lot of people are not always accepting, especially if we're in a place like Oklahoma. If someone said that out loud when I was in Oklahoma, I could be beaten up, I could be murdered, all of this. Because, I mean, it's true. This is a very red state. So, yeah, and he was like, his eyes got so big, and he's like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "It's okay, just you gotta watch what you're saying." But, yeah, see, and then I didn't really have any issues in Seattle. It was weird at the Denver airport because I had to use the restroom and I wasn't going to use the girls, so I was going to go for the guys, and there's the family bathroom right next to it, so I was like, worst comes to worst, I just go to the family restroom. And like right as I got to the door for the men's restroom, this guy came out and like kind of gave me the "why are you going into this bathroom" look. So I used the family bathroom. It It was weird. I don't know. I'm like right in between being 100% passable and not. And then like when I went to order food, 'cause we had a long layover, this guy was taking forever to order. So he was like, "You go ahead of me, young." And he stopped because he couldn't figure out if it was a guy or a girl. So he turns to his wife and is like, "I don't know what it is." And I was like, I don't know. I didn't say anything, but I got called it. It was very frustrating. And my mom called me it one time during the trip too. And like I had to tell her like how incredibly offensive and rude that was. And she was like, "Oh, whatever." I don't know. But that was really frustrating. Yeah, so I'm back in Oklahoma now. Woo, not. I'm trying to get my name changed, and so I've been looking online for the forms for petition for a legal name change. Can't find any that are free to print off. So I went to the county clerk to get one, and they kind of gave me the runaround. They kind of shuffled around, looked for it a little bit, and then they're like, we don't use forms. I was like, what? You don't use forms? What were you just looking for? So they tried to tell me they don't use forms, and there's a guy right next to me that like received a form and brought it back up, filled out, and I was like, okay, you don't use forms, that's cool. So I left. I didn't want to be a dick about it. So that was really frustrating. Oklahoma is weird. I can't change my gender on my license until I either have lower surgery or a hysterectomy. So that's not fun. And you can't ever change your birth certificate for name or sex. The most you can do is get an amendment put on it, which is pretty much a blatant red flag of, hey, look at me, I'm trans. So it's not, Oklahoma is not stealth friendly, not very trans friendly either. But yeah, so it's been really frustrating that I couldn't get that form. But my dad runs with a lawyer, so hopefully that lawyer can get a copy of it for me. There's also a trans lawyer here, like she's actually trans, not just like trans rights, but she is trans, and I might just swing by her office and be like, hey, do you have this form? Like, I just need it because my county won't give it to me. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure she would understand. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. I get my levels checked on Wednesday. I already said that, so I'll probably have the video for next week by then, because I'm going to Alabama on Thursday to visit my girlfriend, and then the next week we're going to New Orleans. So the videos might be kind of sporadic, but I'm gonna try to get them done. But yeah, I think that's it for updates. Yeah. I tried to make this video like 2 times already, so I don't remember what I've said and what I haven't said, because it keeps like cutting off or the volume doesn't work. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I just talked about my dose and how I wasn't taking enough. I talked about the forms, talked about Seattle. I should really write things down. Talked about changes. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week.